Skirt, skirt. Told you we always been ready. I don't need people that's petty, that weigh on me heavy while I'm being steady. I need a record with Felly. We get it bouncing like Betty's, I feel like I'm Nelly. Don't bring the beef like a deli. It's leaving I levy, no sleeping on me like I'm Freddy. Chris Breeze, how I do, hit him with the moves. Left hand step back, ballin' like I'm Coos. All faith, God's plan, you just gotta choose. God slaps, nothing left to prove. Y'all gotta leave me alone. Lately I've been in my zone. Told them no cap like I fitted, but lately the flows have been straight off the dome. I feel like I'm MVP, like my name Patty Mahomes. If it ain't about money, don't hit up my phone, cause lately I've been in my zone.
Hello, welcome to the Cowboys Show, hosted by Ben Carey and Nick Gronerad, combining expert human opinions with cutting-edge simulation models to help you arrive at the best picks each week. Inside Edge Community. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to today's stream. We've got NFL Week 11 action. A lot of late injury news. I think it's been a bit of a theme this year. I guess it's a theme every year with the NFL, is that there's just always players hurt. Lamar Jackson is out. That is the big news. We'll get to that game in a little bit. But starting off at the top, we have yet another game featuring a new quarterback. And I think that this one's going to have potentially even more of an effect on the game than Lamar Jackson being out, as crazy as that is to say. So we've got Detroit and we've got Cleveland. Cleveland is a 13-point favorite at home, and the over-under is set at 42.5. And aside from Detroit just being a shit team in general, why are they favored, or why are they 13-point underdogs here? Fill us in, Ben.
So let's talk about Tim Boyle. Nick, do you know off the top of your head what his touchdown to interception ratio was as a starting quarterback in college football?
At UConn or total?
Total.
Total. Well, so I know he had 1 touchdown and 13 interceptions in his college career at UConn. And then he transferred to, what was it, like Eastern Kentucky or something?
Yep, Eastern Kentucky.
And then at Eastern Kentucky, he still had, like, what was it, 8 touchdowns and 9 picks? Something like that.
Yeah, so it was 13 touchdowns to 26 interceptions in college. And like you said, at UConn, at the FBS level, it was even worse. It was, you said 1 to 13, I think.
Yeah, 1 touchdown and 13 picks.
So, yeah, this man, he's starting in the NFL today. So that's why the spread has jumped up. But, you know, it's interesting because Goff's played pretty bad.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, Goff's been terrible.
It begs the question where it's like, well, how much worse can Boyle be over Goff, right? And if we're looking at the look-ahead line to the line where it was before Goff was announced, he was out, basically it moved about 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an interesting thing. Like I've been the biggest proponent of saying, hey, bet on these backup quarterbacks because of the lack of game film and, you know, all this stuff. But this is where the buck stops. I can't endorse the Lions in this spot. I can't do it.
No, neither can I. So very good question from teacher. How did he make it to the NFL? That's an excellent question.
It's a really good question.
So I think I know the answer, actually.
I think I do too, but I want to hear what you got to say about it.
So Boyle obviously was not drafted with his college performance, but he was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Packers, and apparently Aaron Rodgers really liked him, and apparently Boyle is an excellent film room quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't have the physical ability to translate that into good things on the field.
Yeah, he's great. He's great at identifying really good art. He's just a terrible painter.
Exactly. So I think that's why he's in the NFL. That's why he's been a backup for so long, despite not being somebody that you really want to actually see the field. But being a good quarterback in the film room is a good way to be an NFL backup. And he probably isn't really even the number 2 quarterback on the Lions. I think David Blow, at least coming into the season, was supposed to be the number 2 for Detroit. I don't know if he's hurt or if he's just also terrible, but he's not starting today.
So, yeah, I'm kind of along the lines with you to that question. If he was a guy coming in and he's making Aaron Rodgers a better quarterback because of things he's identifying, like in the film room, his value kind of shoots up. But it still begs the question, like, how did he still get into that position, right? Like, I mean, it's interesting. But, hey, here we are. Play ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I apparently pronounced the quarterback's wrong. Yeah.
Well, he bloat. Yeah.
So thanks.
How do you pronounce
Thanks, guys. It's pronounced blah. David Blah.
So Nick,
whatever.
I mean the total in this one, 42.5.
Yeah.
It's a little sketchy because it's giving me the Jets-Bills vibes of a few games back.
Yeah, I agree. So the model, let me throw the score up here, actually does like the over, mostly just because it thinks that Cleveland is going to get within 10 points of it by themselves. Mm-hmm. So I agree. It does kind of give me Jets-Bills from last week vibes,
Really
where
does.
you could see one team hit this total by themselves. Mm-hmm. All that said, I think that this is a pretty clear fade spot.
Yeah.
Or I mean, for me at least, it's a pretty clear fade spot.
I actually got this at -10. I think if you recall, Nick, I was just like, hey, I got this up, so I'm feeling good about it. But
oh no, I think my
still don't
favorite
know.
thing here would probably still be Cleveland minus the points. Mm-hmm. If I had to pick something,
yeah,
I don't think Detroit can score at all. And then Tim Boyle's going to come out and throw for 400 yards and make some degenerate $125,000.
this is his revenge game for people saying, oh, like how did this guy get into the league? He's not qualified.
Yeah, that's the revenge narrative. It's him against the haters.
Yep.
So some other things that I've seen in the chat. What's up, Larry? Said, let's go, get in the fucking zone. Yeah, we're in the fucking zone, man. Michael
when
Salem.
you're tapped in, you're in the zone. When you're in the Twitch, you're in the zone.
Mm-hmm. T-Chair says, does Nick look more childlike today? The answer is yes, I do. I have no facial hair. Michael Salem said Baltimore line moved to 2.5. Yeah, I think it moved all the way to 1.5.
Yeah, it's gonna continue.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that again before we talk about the game. See exactly where it's at. But we do have Sims ready to go with Tyler Huntley in at quarterback for Baltimore as opposed to Lamar Jackson. Yeah, no porn stash. It had to go. I don't know that it going did anything, but it's gone.
I kind of missed the stash.
Yeah, I mean, the stash can always come back. Josh says, the future of Detroit. For Detroit's sake, I hope not. But,
The future. That's just
yeah, apparently everybody's just commenting on my appearance today. Capacity says the stash is gone. Yeah. I am a small child.
How does Blue feel about it?
She didn't recognize me.
She was like barking at you.
Uh-huh. She's like, stranger danger.
Yeah.
Nick,
Who is this man
who's
in
this
my
guy?
house?
Yeah. A-Park just said, what's the favorite pick for the day? We will get to our favorite picks for the day once we run through all the games.
That's actually a good question because I need to figure that out. I have a few I like, but I got to narrow it down.
Yeah, so next game. We've got San Francisco and Jacksonville. Jacksonville, 6.5-point dogs at home. Over under set at 45.5. both of these teams, little Jekyll, little Hyde, I would say. I think every time, especially with the Niners, every time I'm ready to say that they're a good team, they really have a big letdown, and every time I'm ready to write them off, they do what they did last week. So really, really up and down team. Model has San Francisco taking this one about 26.5 to a little under 22. So it's a Jacksonville cover and an over from the model. But Ben, what are your thoughts?
I mean, we did a great job, I think, last week of kind of handicapping the Jags, and I think that was just a great spot considering the value of the line. I mean, both these teams are coming into this game with a little bit of confidence. So, I mean, you don't want to see Jimmy G with confidence because he's a good-looking guy. When he has confidence, that's a scary thing. I'm just going to say that much. But Trevor Lawrence, though, he's got the flow. He's got the hair. Thank you for the follow, Lazarus. 6.5. I think is still some good value, and I think the model is right on point with this one. I'm not betting the Jags, but I think they can keep this close.
Yeah, I think they can keep this close as well. 6.5 point dog at home against an inconsistent team. I think I like the Jags as a lean.
Mm-hmm. But I will say though, Kittle being back, it's completely sparked that offense, and it's no surprise. But man, it's night and day, and I think it's to the point where it's of course his production and his talent, right? And what he does, but I also think it's pretty mental. There's some younger cats on that team, on that offense, and I think when he's in the lineup, guys are just feeling more confident because it's literally been night and day. But I still think the Jags can keep this close.
Yep, I am with you there. What about the Jags winning this one? Any?
Yeah, I actually think it's worth a look. I'm not gonna come out and say like, hey, Jags money line like I did. What was that? The Panthers.
Yeah, that was a great call, by the way.
Yeah, I was feeling good about that.
They were what, 9-point dogs last week?
Yeah, I think it closed at like 8. But yeah, I grabbed it. I was feeling confident. But you guys will know when I'm on a money line. Not here though. I mean, it's worth a look, but it doesn't jump off the slate like that game did.
All right. You ready for the next one?
Oh, I'm ready for this one.
Mm-hmm. It's a battle of some of our adopted teams. I don't know if Buffalo counts as my adopted team this year. They were last year. But Indianapolis.
Better, you wouldn't put them back up for adoption.
No, you can't. You can't like re-adopt.
You're like.
Speaking of which, is anybody in the market for a dog? No, just kidding.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say, is anyone in here adopted?
Fun fact: my mom was adopted.
Yeah, my cousin was adopted. So we care about the adopted community. Don't get us wrong here. But I will say though, something with the Bills right now. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
The Bills. So we were just talking about this with the Niners as like a Jekyll and Hyde team. The Bills take that to the extreme. They're either like a close game or they win by 40.
Yeah, it's the Ravens, but it's times 2.
Yeah.
It's like
I think that's what they are. So as it stands right now, Buffalo at home against Indianapolis, favored by 7 points, over under in the game set at 50. Model has the spread right about the same. It's got, I guess, like 5.9 points that it likes Buffalo to win by. So technically an Indy cover, but not all that close. It does like the under a fair amount. It's got a total of 26.8 compared to the total of 50. So from that perspective, the under feels like a good look. That being said, like we were just saying, the Bills have kind of been under killers against some bad teams. Although I don't think that this Indy team is bad. I think you'd agree with that.
They're not bad.
They're not like the Jets or the Dolphins, where the Bills are going to go out and put up 40 by themselves. Mm-hmm. So what do you think here, Ben?
I like the Colts. I'm curious. Are you showing any 6.5s right now?
Let me take a peek. Little Vegas Insider refresh. I am showing 7s across the board.
Okay.
I'm actually showing a total that has dropped, though, off of 50 down to 49.5. And even some 49s on the board. Caesar still has a 50, but that's the only one, at least on the Vegas Insider front page.
Gotcha. Yeah. Colts it is for me. I mean, this team, I think with their run game and their offensive line, they can get it going. It's going to come down to that. I think there's a little bit of weather in this, but I'm not too concerned. I mean, we saw what the Colts did in that San Francisco game with inclement weather. I think 7 is a lot. I mean, am I wrong here? Or is it kind of the Jekyll and Hyde thing where you're like, well, maybe this is a money line look?
Yeah, I think that I like Colts money line more than I like Colts to cover. My thought on this is it's not going to be close to a 7-point game. I think either the Bills win by double digits or the Colts win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Carson Wentz, right? He's kind of sporadic. I mean, if he turns the ball over and Bills capitalize, yeah, they win by 14 plus. But if maybe they get a lead, they don't turn the ball over, establish the run game, they win this outright.
Mm-hmm. So you know what might be interesting here? I don't think I've ever done this in the NFL before. A little Polish middle. So instead of, a traditional middle would be like, you bet like, what would you bet? You bet like,
well, you could bet
Bills minus, or like Bills money line and Colts plus 14 or something, or Colts plus 7. Yeah. Those two things, and then hope that you hit the middle. The Polish middle is the opposite. So you could do a bet like Colts money line, or you bet Bills minus 14 or something.
Mm-hmm. Or
and then if you hit either of those, you win.
Spread. You either can just bet the spread, but
no, you can't bet the spread. You need stronger bids. Or you need like plus 200s, or you need better than plus 100 average.
Well,
on each side.
what's the money line at
for the Colts?
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing a plus 240.
You could still do it. Just the margins wouldn't be that good if you put a half unit on the money line and then a full unit on the Bills.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. You could look at some alternate spreads here, like a 9.5, 10. Mm-hmm. This would be the game to do it, I think.
Yeah. Bills to cover or Colts to win.
Imagine at a bar just cheering and people are so confused. They're like, "What is this guy cheering about?" I thought. Do you have the over? No.
I have this. I have the Polish middle.
Mind your own business.
Yeah. It's like taking rooting for totals to the extreme.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Polish middle, put it up. No.
No, I'm not putting that up.
Well, we like the under too, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw up the under. After all that.
Yeah.
We will take the under here as our lean. I like it more at that 50, but I think the 49.5 is still a good number.
Mm-hmm. I didn't check a weather report, but it might be a little Buffalo-ish.
Yeah, it's Buffalo in late November.
Yeah, but I'm not. Look, Josh Allen, he played at Wyoming. Carson Wentz, North Dakota kid, whatever. Well, he didn't.
North Dakota State plays in a dome.
Yeah, but you still have to walk around and stuff.
I still have to live.
Like there's literally people who will not go to school in some of those places because of the weather.
Oh, it sounds awful.
Yeah, where you're like, could I play at LSU or Minnesota? Okay, well maybe that's a bad comparison, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
What's up, Broken Meta? Says, what's up, boys? How's it going? It's going well. I'm excited for today's NFL slate. I think we're gonna have a good day today in the good old National Football League. So next up, we've got Miami and the New York Jets. Jets are 3.5-point underdogs at home. Total in this game is set at 44.5. This game.
Nick, tell us about the starting quarterback for the Jets.
Starting quarterback for the Jets. If I had to use one word to describe him, it would be elite.
I was gonna say bro.
No, Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback. You know that meme, right?
Yeah.
Is he still elite? Yes. Once you're elite, you're always elite. But I mean, I think Joe Flacco is elite in meme terms only. He's washed. He's been washed.
It's got to be pretty bad for him to have to come in and start. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. So Zach Wilson is still out. Mike White has come back down to planet Earth. Mm-hmm. Josh Johnson is Josh Johnson. And Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, it's that simple, really. No, this game sucks. This game really sucks. Tua came in last week against the Ravens and looked really good, or good enough. And I don't know how much of that was due to him and how much of it was due to just a couple massive blown coverages on the Ravens defense. I mean, it's a combination of both things. Mm-hmm. I think. I really don't know what to make of this game. Yeah, Big J, it says, if there was ever a game to skip and pay no mind to, it's this one.
So call me a square, Nick, but I bet on the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think I would probably lean the Dolphins here. I don't want to fade the model, though.
Yeah, I the only reason I did is because I just feel like Joe Flacco coming in, yeah, maybe he's not going to implode like a Mike White has, but I just think there's more upside with the Dolphins, and I know trust me, this is probably one of the most square plays I've played and been confident in. But
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a square play, right?
If it wins,
just has to be.
If it wins,
you just have to win.
Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. We'll see what Flacco can cook up.
Yeah, I think that this has to be a fade.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Well, I mean, maybe a good live bet opportunity if Lamar Jackson, why did I say Lamar Jackson? Joe Flacco. I was thinking Flacco, Ravens, Lamar Jackson, but I mean, no. It's a morning. Let's see. Yeah, Joe Flacco could play well. He could play absolutely terrible, and we'll see early on. So I think a live bet opportunity potentially here. Mm-hmm. Does the model have 2 interceptions and a fumble for Joe Flacco? Says T5 Dimes. First time chat. Let's actually see. So I don't have fumbles recorded for players because I think fumbles are random, more or less. So there's no real point in forecasting individual fumbles. Where is he? Oh, it's not up on the dashboard. This game wouldn't load into the... If I tried to include this in the file, it wouldn't upload. So I have to open up the individual game. We have Joe Flacco with the most interceptions of any quarterback today, on average.
Nice.
Pretty much. An interception for Joe Flacco on average. But yeah, this game is disgusting. You know what game is not going to be disgusting?
Which one?
I mean, this is a kind of bad game to have coming up next. This one's also going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with this?
we've got the Washington football team on the road against the Carolina Panthers.
Nick, the three ugliest games are just literally back to back.
Back to back. Yeah, I'm going to use the same transition going into the next one.
Well, at least there's a little bit of like excitement, I guess, versus like the Flacco situation with Cam Newton coming back. But
yeah, Cam Newton's back. That's exciting.
It's still ugly though, from the sense of like, how do you kind of accurately try to handicap this game?
Yeah,
because Cam, look, here's how I feel about Cam Newton coming back. I think a majority of people are remembering Cam Newton for his time in Carolina, and they're almost like removing the last year, or I guess it was technically 2 years with the Patriots. But Father Time, I mean, I don't think Cam is anywhere close to the same type of player he was. And I just don't think he's going to just come back to what he used to be as a quarterback in Carolina. And I think that's the perception I'm getting from this line. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of Cam Newton. I think I agree with you though. I think there's a lot of upside there if somehow he can turn back into the quarterback that he was. But it's like Joe Flacco, right? I mean, Flacco was good, debatably, but now he's terrible. Cam Newton was really good. I mean, he was an MVP quarterback on a 15-1 team. But the last times we've seen him play was not all that great. I think that people are excited because Cam Newton had a good game in the role that he played last week. But
touchdown at the one.
yeah, but like, what does that actually mean, right? Running the ball in from the 1 yard line, that doesn't mean anything at all about how well you can manage a game, how well you can throw the ball. We don't have any information really from that perspective, from an actual quarterbacking perspective, to say that he's any different than the bad quarterback.
The upside is the spread option zone read attack with CMC.
Yeah, definitely.
And I will say that in New England, they tried to do some of that, but they weren't consistent. That wasn't like the crux of the game plan. And I think that's just kind of a testament to Belichick and who they are, right? Like, we're the Patriots. We're going to do things this way, right? And I don't necessarily think Cam fit into that offense, but at the same time, Cam made some, like, egregious throws. Like, it was bad. I know he had, like, shoulder issues, but there were a few throws where I was like, dude, what the hell?
No, I mean, his arm in New England was like
an
al dente piece of noodle. Angel hair pasta.
Wow, that was
descriptive.
Deep. That was. I've gone back and forth on this, Nick. You know this. We've gone back and forth on this. You were more confident in Washington.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked about them. But Nick, last thing I want to say though, the biggest reason why I decided to not go with Washington is because I think Chase Young being out is pretty huge in this game, especially if they run that spread zone read offense, because Chase Young would be the guy who's kind of playing that position where he's, watching the quarterback. And I think with him out, that's a huge factor, more so than any other team if they were to go up against this Washington defense. So for that, I've gone back and forth. It's a tough one.
I'm I'm leaning Washington here. The model likes Washington, and I trust the model enough here. I mean, it has Washington winning this game outright by like a point, and they're 3.5-point dogs. I think that 4.5-point margin makes me feel comfortable kind of just blindly throwing up Washington as a lean. I agree. I have all of the same reservations about it. There's a reason we didn't make this an official pick this week.
We can put it up as a lean.
But yeah, I think Washington as a lean is...
I want to discuss a few props I gave out.
Is where I'm at.
So, Nick, this is a little bit of a hedge in my eyes. You could still bet Washington, but you could also still feel confident about Cam Newton's rushing yards. And I think it was at 33.5.
Yeah, let me take a peek.
I like that over quite a bit because I really think with Matt Rule and Cam starting, I don't see a scenario where they don't try to run the ball designed with him at least 10 times. And if he can break one, 33.5 seems like a very low number in my eyes. I know it's a little risky, but the speculating with the quarterback, CMC being back, Chase Young being back,
being out,
I like that over. Oh yeah, being out, I like that over.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the props that Big Germ's talking about. Christian McCaffrey. I think that it's a great spot for Christian McCaffrey today. So we were talking about Chase Young being out. And this does have obviously has a negative effect on Washington's defense, but their run D has been quite good in recent weeks. It was bad at the beginning of the year. It was like 4 first-round picks on the defensive line. They're going to have a great pass rush. They're going to have a great run D. And in the first couple of weeks, it just wasn't there. But the last few weeks, against some decent teams, it has improved quite a bit.
Cam's starting.
Cam Newton is starting. So I think what that means, though, is that the receiving game is where Christian McCaffrey is going to get involved. Just even from a stylistic perspective, ignoring the fact that he's the best receiving back in the league anyways. I think that's just kind of how you beat Washington with your running back. Mm-hmm. So I like those plays, the 5.5 receptions and 55 receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey. The model has him at 6.4 receptions for 61.75 yards. And I think that might even be a little conservative. So I think that the McCaffrey plays are good. I like those.
Yeah. I think his rushing is 50. Is he saying 55?
No, the receiving is 55.
Receiving 55.
I don't want to touch the rushing for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Receiving, and it could be one screen. The big playability with CMC is always upside.
Yeah,
so.
And just the crazy volume potential also. Mm-hmm. It's like both. There's the big play threat and the volume threat. Yeah. Larry says, when are college basketball sims going to get posted? As soon as the stream is done. They finished up about 5 minutes after the stream started. I'm not going to be posting any official basketball plays today. We're just going to relax and enjoy NFL. But I was still going to post the Sims. Yeah, I had to shave my mustache because it was bad luck. Yeah, and then it turned out that wasn't the problem. But can't undo that. I don't think Ben was ever planning on doing any no shave stuff. Ben, you've never like grown out a proper beard.
I have in the past, but I don't know.
Got to do it.
I'm getting old now, so now I have to look young again.
Getting gray. I look hella young right now.
Someone thought I was 26 the other day on TikTok. I was like,
it's not that bad.
I was like, thanks.
Yeah. You're a man. You're 30.
I'm a man. We need that clip. He's like, it's Gundy, right? He's like, come after me. I'm a man.
I'm 40.
That's one of my favorite clips.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, guys, Mike Gundy. What would you type in? Mike Gundy just goes off.
No, you just probably type in Gundy? I'm 40 in your YouTube search bar, and you will find the video. I'm sure most people have seen it.
Yeah, because basically, a reporter came after a kid, and Gundy did not like that. Mm-hmm. I'm a man. great.
That's
All
an
right,
all-time great.
Let's talk about this. This Baltimore Bears.
Yeah.
game.
So what's not going to be a train wreck of a game? I forgot what the exact transition I used the first time was.
Yeah, I had something like that.
Also, Paul's modeling company says, I'm taking Washington. You changed your name. It's been pink, but now it's gray. Why'd you do that? But yeah, I like Washington there. Baltimore and Chicago. Let me just first check to make sure that this line is still correct.
And
it's not.
Number 2, what is it now?
Oh, I mean, I guess the spread is still the same, but the total has dropped even further.
Yeah, I bet it at 42.5. What's it at now?
40.5. You bet the under?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to get in on that. Okay, guys, before we start this off, I'm pretty good with my backup quarterbacks and all that good stuff. I mean, I do this for a living. But I got confused with Brett Hundley and Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley is a rookie from Utah, and he is starting. It is not Brett Hundley from UCLA.
And it's also not Trace McSorley.
Not Trace McSorley from Penn State. So it is the rookie. He's starting. What to expect? I don't know. And Nick, do I dare go back to my quarterback? My theory on these rookies.
I mean, why not?
I watched this cat in college. He's not bad. But it's just, I mean, this is it's a short notice. It's a little different if he had a few days, but I don't think it was a scenario where Wednesday they're like, hey, you could potentially start, because I don't think this came about until like Friday evening, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Lamar. Because it's not COVID. And they also said it's not the flu. So I saw people, I was just like reading on Reddit, people speculating. But he might have some like gastrointestinal issues. I mean, that's already manifested itself once during a game in his career.
What about no, I don't want to speculate. I'm not gonna speculate.
What were you gonna say?
Sickle cell.
Oh, I mean, we'd probably know about that. Well, he played in Denver. It can't be sickle cell.
You can still play.
No, who was it? It was Ryan Clark on the Steelers. Had to sit out every time the Steelers played in Denver. I think it's like actually a massive health risk to play in the altitude.
Anyway,
yeah, I mean he's got something that's going on because he's always sick. This is like the third time this year he's had a non-COVID, non-flu illness, and yeah, Lamar Jackson is out. So we actually do this sim score that's up does reflect the fact that Tyler Huntley is starting at quarterback for Baltimore. We've got Chicago winning this game, 22-18. So I think it could be a sneaky. I mean, I guess not really sneaky, but a spot to take Chicago here. At the same time, though, I do like Ben's backup or like rookie quarterback, inexperienced quarterback with no film playing in that first game. We've seen it several times already this year, especially with Mike White probably being the biggest example.
The best comparison is basically like a pitcher, right? You've never seen before, and the first few at bats, you're feeling them out. You're feeling them out. It's so tough. I think we should stay away, Nick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I don't know if fun is the right word. I was going to say it's going to be a fun game to watch, but I mean, I might only be thinking that because I'm a Ravens fan. I actually don't even know that I'm excited for this game.
Well, there's no pressure.
No pressure except for like trying to make the playoffs, trying to get the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, but if you lose, you don't feel terrible about yourself, right?
No.
So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the pressure's on the Bears. Also,
Yeah.
Bateman is down to 47.5. Nick and I were discussing that. I still lean over, but it's more about I think Bateman's a stud, but we don't know what the hell Huntley's going to do out there.
Yeah, I think it's tough to nail down exactly who's going to be the guys receiving wise who get involved when these quarterbacks come in, because every quarterback, regardless of how good the receiving options are, just in general, every quarterback has their guys that they trust.
Brown is out though.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown is out. I think it could be a game where the running backs get involved a little bit more. I think that with newer quarterbacks, just going through the progressions is a little bit harder. So
Murray's
you can
out
see,
too, right?
Is Murray out?
Someone on TikTok just said that.
Okay, I thought he was questionable.
Freeman? A little Freeman action?
No, I'm reading. Last thing I saw said Latavius Murray is expected to play.
Oh, nah. Well, he hasn't played since
He's been out since week 6.
Yeah, I don't think you risk that. Maybe Freeman is the guy, but now it's tough. It's a
Yeah,
committee
I mean,
thing.
or Mark Andrews, but I think Andrews' number is pretty high, and the Bears are tough against tight ends. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this is a fade spot. Rooting for Bateman because I've got him in fantasy, but
And Fields has been playing well. We have to give him credit.
Fields has looked pretty good the last couple weeks. So next game is New Orleans and Philadelphia. Philadelphia at home favored by 3 points. Total in the game set at 42. This game also sucks. Am I wrong?
I mean, Trevor Siemian
starting at quarterback for New Orleans. I mean, if that's not peak football, I don't know what is. Nothing gets me hype like watching Trevor Siemian sling the football around the field. To no good receivers. Alvin Kamara is out in this one again. So I don't know how New Orleans is going to do anything offensively.
We've got Troutman, who's their tight end, who's been getting a little action.
Troutman.
Oh, Troutman, yeah.
And then wide receiver, Traquan Smith, Callaway,
Traquan.
I mean, but they're all been underwhelming, even with a better quarterback.
Yeah.
So
not a lot of points.
Kind of gross game. And Philadelphia, I mean, Jalen Hurts can be exciting. He can also be really bad. And New Orleans' defense is quite good. For how bad the offense has been, the defense, I mean, they've been a little underwhelming the last couple weeks. The Saints' defense has. Part of that is probably due to the offense struggling. I mean, there is definitely a correlation between the offense being able to sustain drives and then your defense can come out and play a little bit better because they're more well rested. Mm-hmm. But still, the model has Philly winning this game by about half a point on average. We've got 20.22 to 19.75. That's a New Orleans cover, kind of on the heels of the defense as opposed to the offense. And a total that we have is just a touch under 40. So that's an underlean. Ben, anything that you're thinking about here?
I think the Eagles are going to have a hard time running the ball. No surprise. I mean, Saints' run defense is terrific. It's going to come down to Jalen Hurts and if he can pick up yards with his feet. But I think the Saints' defense knows that if they can limit that, they can win this game. Or that's how they're going to win the game.
Yeah, that's definitely the recipe for success. Is just force Jalen Hurts to beat you.
And Smith has been Devontae Smith has looked good, but he's going to be locked up probably by why am I spacing his name?
Marshawn Lattimore.
There you go. So it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
I'm 100% leaning the under here though.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, I know it's a low number. Don't be scared. both teams, I think, are going to try to establish the run. So
yeah, and both teams are going to have a hard time doing that.
Could be a lot of punts in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ghost of Mark Ingram and then Miles Sanders is back this week. But against the Saints defense, it's not exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm with you. I like the under here. Next up, we've got Houston and Tennessee. Tennessee, 10-point favorites. Over under set at 44.5. This is another one, right? Like in these last five games that we've talked about, is there a single really healthy and exciting team?
Over the last 5 games, no.
Tennessee's like the closest thing to it. But they're missing Derrick Henry. They're missing Julio Jones. So, I mean, even them is like, eh.
And I think they have another injury in their secondary. Yeah, a lot of players banged up, but it is the Texans, right?
Yeah, it is the Texans. And the Texans are bad. So, Tyrod Taylor's back at least. That's good news. Not that it did a whole lot for them last week, but he's better than Davis Mills. Helps out my Brandon Cook fantasy option.
It does. I mean, propels his value.
Yeah, I mean, God knows I need it. My running backs are all hurt.
Tennessee's defense, though, has been surprisingly really good the last few games.
Yeah, they have. They've really stepped up in the wake of the injuries to the offense. So the model has this one as a 23.7 to 16.5 point win for Tennessee. So that is actually a Houston cover. What's interesting,
you thinking what I'm thinking? No.
I mean, betting on Houston to do anything that involves them scoring points, it feels terrible.
It does.
It feels like setting your money on fire, and then
Coley.
hoping that after it burns, you can assemble money out of the ashes.
Yeah, it's one of those where head coaching is just it's huge, and anytime David Coley's the head coach, I can't endorse that team. Can't do it.
I cannot endorse Houston doing anything well on the offensive side of the ball. So what about this under, though? So the
under
total
looks good.
Yeah, so the total's 44.5. We've talked already about how Houston struggles, to put it lightly, offensively. And Tennessee, again, the injuries. No Derrick Henry, no Julio Jones. It's kind of just the Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown show at this point. Plus, they had some other random-ass receiver put up 100 yards last week.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if other people step up and continue to step up and establish themselves in the wake of these injuries. Were you talking, Ben?
Sorry. I was to TikTok.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, I got you. I just wanted to make sure you weren't like having mic problems.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that I like this under.
Me too.
Yeah, the model has this at 40 point. What's the actual math here? 40.19 points. So that's an under by more than 4.
And Nick, something sneaky about this game too, why I like the under. Let's say it's a 24-10 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going into the fourth quarter. Actually, no. Let's say it's 27-10. Houston is the type of team with Coley that they won't push the ball and like try to like hurry up. I've seen this 4 or 5 times already. I don't know why, but I think it's just his job security. Coley thinks he doesn't need to do that. Maybe that was more with Davis Mills, but Nick, I don't know. It seems like they're not a team that, if they're in a deficit, they're like very concerned about scoring down 3 possessions. It's just something to think about. Obviously, that's not a reason why you play this under, but it's something that I think is benefiting us here.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that can make you feel comfortable down the stretch in what feels like a coin flippy situation.
Big Jared, that's so funny. It's just like, yeah, sorry, I was watching that Temple Elon game Sunday morning. Classic.
Ain't nothing like Temple Elon basketball to start out your Sunday. A little NFL appetizer.
Here we go. Here's a good game.
Yeah. Next up, we have Green Bay and Minnesota. 2 teams with their starting quarterbacks.
Wow.
I mean, that's more than we can say. I guess we could say that about Houston, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time in a while, we have like 2 exciting quarterback options in Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. Aaron Rodgers, though, is playing on a toe injury, apparently, which may or may not affect the performance and may or may not also be reflecting itself in this total.
Yeah,
so,
it's a little low, but...
And the spread. So Minnesota is only a 1-point underdog here. At home, I feel like... Oh, I guess Aaron Jones is out too. That's important to talk about.
Yeah, that's
that's probably
biggest
actually
reason
why.
for the line.
Yeah. So Minnesota's a 1-point underdog at home. Total set at 47.5. So let's talk about Aaron Jones. How big of a loss do you think it is for this Packers offense not having Aaron Jones?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh my gosh, like huge loss, 1, who is this guy? I actually think it's only a 5, Nick.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
And a big reason why, I'm sure we both agree, is, well, there's 2 reasons. 1, the backup, A.J. Dillon, has looked great. And 2, if Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, he's such a good improviser that they can find ways. Even if, let's say, A.J. Dillon struggles as a running back, they can still find a way to get the offense going.
Yeah.
I feel confident about saying that. So
yeah, I'm with you. So the only thing that scares me about Jones being out is the fact that they do utilize the running backs so much that there's going to have to be somebody who steps in behind A.J. Dillon to pick up some volume. So I think that's where you're really going to see the impact of Jones being out. It is not in anything that Dillon is going to do wrong. I think that A.J. Dillon is going to have a fantastic game today. But if they need to give some carries or some targets in the passing game to the whoever the new backup is, I forget who it is off the top of my head.
I was looking that up right now, actually.
It would have been Kylan Hill, but Hill is on IR because he got demolished on special teams.
Patrick Taylor,
yeah, that's the one.
Hey, that's a Memphis guy. Those Memphis running backs, man. I tell you what.
I mean,
Gibson,
at least one
Henderson,
of them is...
Gainwell.
Gainwell's a healthy scratch today.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like they're pumping him out. It's a running back
It is. I mean, and even going back further, who was it? Alabama's running back
Because someone will come in and be like, Alabama's running back I'm like, you would say that about every position. Come on, give Memphis a little love here.
Yeah, didn't D'Angelo Williams also go to Memphis?
Yeah. See here, I'm in Charleston. Elon. Oh, he's not Elon. Scrappy bunch. Only thing that scares me about Jones is that Dillon is not great. I actually think that's not true.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly not as good as Jones in the receiving game.
But the perception is, since he looks like a tank, a unit, he's not a good receiving back, but I think he's actually decent out of the backfield. Like, he has hands.
Yeah, he's certainly I would say both not as good as Jones and also not worthless.
Yeah.
In the passing game.
I'm just looking at his receiving stats. I mean, last game he had 2 for 62. I think there's a screen pass maybe.
Gotta be. I mean, they're not sending A.J. Dillon on a go route. Can you imagine?
Hey, I don't know. No.
Can you imagine being a cornerback trying to play press coverage against A.J. Dillon?
You what do I do here? That's going to be the new offense, Nick. They're going to start putting linemen as like receivers, and these cornerbacks are like, what do we do here?
That's the natural evolution, right? So we've gone from wide receivers to bigger tight ends, and next you're going to see like 6'8", 300-pound guy running a 4.4 down the field.
Nick, I'm telling you, one of these days, like we're starting to see it in college a little bit, but there's going to be an offense that comes out where people are like, what the F?
Like Southern Miss?
Yeah, like something that's so unorthodox where people are like, what? Like the defenses won't know what to do. And we saw the same thing 20 years ago when the spread offense started to come into play, and the defenses did the same. They're like 5 wide. What in the F? Like it's the same comparison. It sounds crazy, but we'll see it. We'll see it sometime. I don't know if it's going to be with A.J. Dillon on a go route 10 times today, but
I don't know. Yeah,
so but I like his upside, Nick. I like his props too. It sounds
his numbers are so high. I mean, my first thought was like, oh, A.J. Dillon, it's a good spot. His rushing prop is 80.5 today.
Okay, well, maybe not. I thought it was lower than that.
No, it's like the same number as Dalvin Cook in this game. I think that Vegas at least is not sleeping on A.J. Dillon.
Let's see here, man. That's interesting. Yeah, it's 80.5. That's high.
That's high. He deserves it. It should be that high. Because if it was 70, the over would look great.
Yeah, longest rush is 14.5. That's interesting. Receiving 24.5.
Yeah, so model has A.J. Dillon receiving 2.36 catches for 23.2 yards. So not Aaron Jones involvement, but also not nothing.
This under's a little interesting, but I know the model likes the over. But I think both defenses can make appropriate stops. That would be my lean. So I'm going against the model on this one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put up a lean that goes against the model. It's a losing proposition in the long run.
Yeah.
Model just every side, every total is 160 and 140.
Mm-hmm.
So you're handicapping yourself going against the model. Yeah, I don't quite know actually what to make of this game lean wise.
Yeah, I think we should stay away.
Yeah, any thought real quick on a side? Green Bay or Minnesota?
I think it's a coin flip.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think the line reflects that it's a coin flip. I think the model score reflects that it's a coin flip, having it be a game that's like less than a quarter of a point apart, the two teams.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's kind of a coin flip. We'll go ahead and fade it. Next up, we've got Cincinnati and Las Vegas. Two more kind of perplexing, a little bit of Jekyll, a little bit of Hyde teams. Cincinnati, a couple weeks ago, absolutely destroyed the Ravens, and they haven't looked all that great since. I mean, what did they do last week? Nothing, because they had a bye.
Well,
but coming off that win against the Ravens, I mean, they lost to the Jets and the Browns. And the Raiders, have they been much better? So they had all of their shenanigans, shall we say, and then 2 wins after firing John Gruden against Denver and against Philly, and then they had their bye, and then now they've lost 2 in a row. Got destroyed by Kansas City last week and lost to the Giants before that. So both of these teams on their best day have looked really good, and on their worst day have looked quite bad. The model, interestingly enough, actually really likes one of these teams, and that team is Vegas. So Vegas is a 1.5-point underdog at home. Total in the game is set at 50.5. The model has Vegas taking this by more than 6 points. What do you make of this game, Ben?
So I'm not surprised the model likes the Raiders, but they're slumping right now.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are slumping right now.
Yeah, but 41-14 at home, primetime.
Against Kansas City.
I
Patrick
don't-
Mahomes has started to look better these last couple of weeks.
It's because he's played the Raiders. I am not buying that, actually. I think the Raiders are a slumping team.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, so if we're gonna get mad at the Raiders for losing 41-14, it's worth noting that the Bengals' last game was a 41-16 loss, also at home.
Well, I guess that's my perception that if I'm buying one of these teams and selling the other, I gotta buy the Bengals.
I think I like the Raiders here.
No, that's fair. But I definitely don't want to put that up as a lean.
All right.
I just feel, again, I feel like the Bengals coming into this game, they just have more upside, in my opinion. Maybe it's a lot of the, should we say extracurricular stuff?
Yeah, we can use the word extracurricular.
Yeah.
I mean, so my take on this game is that I don't think that these teams are really any different from each other. They're both 5-4. They're both slumping a little bit. They lost their last game by almost the exact same score at home. And what do we get here? We get a home underdog that the model likes to win by 6 points.
I'll put it this way. If Darren Waller gets over 70 yards, I like the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I feel pretty strongly about this one. I have money on the Raiders here. But if you're gonna veto putting up the Raiders as a lean, then I think Ben just vetoed participating in the stream as a whole. So that's cool. His internet probably just went out. Gonna wait for him to come back. There he is. Hi, Ben. Welcome back.
I was like, did you boot me because I didn't like your pick?
Yeah, well, I said, like, if you want to veto the pick as a lean, then that's fine. And then you just left. And I was like, okay. Did you veto being on the stream as a whole?
No, I'm vetoing the Raiders.
No, also, your video's off.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. 1 second.
All right. I'll go ahead and throw up a fade here.
Good. No.
Although I want to make it clear, I like the Raiders quite a bit in this game.
And then Waller has to go over then, right?
I suppose. It's not like they're lacking in receiving options, even without Ruggs. I mean, Renfro is a good slot guy. Edwards is good. There's not like one elite player, but the depth is good. I think Zay Jones is also a reasonable depth option. Running backs are good.
I'm on we can move on. I don't want to get into that. I think they're struggling, but they need Waller. That's all I'm saying. They have a guy. They need to get him the ball, like 10 catches a game.
Yeah, I agree. Also, thank you, Kobutek and Thrifty Metal, for the follows. Appreciate that very much.
Thanks.
So next up, we got 2 games left. Let's try and get through these and into our top picks before games start. We got off to a little bit of a late start this morning. So let's go through these quick. We got Arizona and Seattle. And again, I want to make sure that this number is correct. And STKR6, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So
I don't even know who's playing in this one.
I think it's supposed to be Colt McCoy. I think Murray is questionable, leaning out. I have scores both with and without Murray. The one that's up on the screen is... Oh, there's nothing up on the screen, actually. Here we go. Where is it? There's that also. Yeah. So there's that. With Colt McCoy starting, we have Seattle winning 23.38 to 20.7. But I think that this has kind of got to be a fade spot until we know for sure who's starting at quarterback. If Kyler Murray is in, we have this game as a push. It's like 23 to 23. But do you agree, Ben? Just kind of hard to talk about this.
We should fade. I mean, if we've talked about some of these bad matchups for like 10 minutes each, I think we should move on to the Cowboys and Chiefs.
Yeah. So I just realized I forgot to put that one up. Pittsburgh and LA tonight. But yeah, this is a fade spot. Next up, Dallas and Kansas City. Kansas City 2.5-point favorites at home. Total is 56. I think that's the biggest number we've seen all year.
Mm-hmm. I think it's 57 in some spots still.
Yeah, and not undeserved.
Yeah,
I would say. I mean, Kansas City's offense has been up and down, shall we say? But the tempo's there, the potential is there, and Dallas has looked good as well. No Amari Cooper for Dallas this week, which is potentially important, but it's not like they lack other receiving options. They still have Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, who are both really good. Sides-wise, I don't really have an opinion here, but I do like this under.
I like the under, and this is going to be pretty bold.
But
I really like the Cowboys here. I really do.
You're hella low on the Chiefs.
Because it's one game. It's one game. Like people have just been waiting, for Mahomes to have a good game, and now Chiefs are back. We're back. We're back. Chiefs are back.
Yeah, I mean they're interesting. I'm not ready to say that they're fully back. But
who's the better team?
Who's the better team? I mean, I think if you give me this game at I can take a money line minus 110 either way, I'm taking Kansas City.
But I'm asking just who's the better team?
I'm taking Kansas City. I think Kansas City's the better team.
But you can't. The Chiefs are the better team.
I think, yeah, I think so.
No way.
I think if they played a 5-game series, the Chiefs win 3-2.
I think if this was the Super Bowl matchup, and it was on a neutral, Cowboys would have to be the favorite, right?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you think 3 points for the home team, then we're looking at Cowboys by half a point.
Yeah.
Seems like the chat loves Dallas here.
If you go through each position, right, and what position groups are playing better, I don't know if there's one position group that the Chiefs are playing better in. I guess tight end, but like quarterback play, you got to take Dak, right?
I guess, yeah. As far as how they've been playing, I think if we're projecting future performance is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I agree that Dallas has been playing better. I don't think that's disputable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think looking forward, I mean...
Well, I will say this. I think if we like the under, I think there is a little bit of correlation. Not a lot, but a little bit, because if the Chiefs are like how they were last week, could you be a little worried on this not hitting the under?
I don't know. I just think that the total is so high.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Ben, I want to get top picks done before we talk about. We can come back and keep talking about this game, and we'll talk about Pittsburgh and LA as well. But I think before 11 o'clock we should do top picks.
You go first.
I go first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the under 42 in the Saints-Eagles game. Just think that the Saints defense is excellent, and their offense is going to really, really struggle to move the ball. I just think that 42 is too high.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I did bet it. I like the Cowboys money line. I think it's at plus 120.
Yeah, for 2.5, it's got to be like 120 or 130.
Yeah, plus 120. Model likes them to cover. I like them to win. I think they win by 7. Chiefs are still frauds, in my opinion. I think one game is just the overreaction. Public loves the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the better team here. Cowboys money line.
Not the public.
Oh, oh my God. My neighbor is betting on the Chiefs, Nick.
Yeah, I called my friend who's in the public, and he's on the Chiefs, so they're going to lose.
Can we get a Trent sound clip, please?
Yeah. That's a Trent sound clip.
Locks.
Ben can't hear it.
I'm trying to find the actual splits on this, but it's got to be like 85% on the Chiefs. But
so looking at points bet, I'm actually it says 75% of bets, 71% of money on Dallas.
Really? That's crazy.
I don't know how accurate that is.
Yeah, I'm just trying
and
to
if that's
find
like money line or spread or what.
Yeah, like where is this info coming from?
Yeah, I do kind of feel like the public is over the Chiefs. I think we've hit that point. And also we have to remember that aside from Patrick Mahomes being God's gift to this green earth, as far as quarterbacks are concerned, Dallas is America's team. Like that's the number 2 public team.
Mm-hmm. That is
cannot
true.
be overlooked.
That is true, but they are on the road. Man, the communications I get from these books are being a little stingy about that game. I don't know why. Makes them look weird.
It's because it's rigged.
Guilty.
That's why.
Yeah.
Whatever side I bet on, it's rigged the other way.
100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like when I win, it's because I made a good handicap, and when I lose, it's because it's rigged.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's how it goes.
All right, so let's talk about the nightcap real quick before we hop off and start watching some football. Mm-hmm. We've got Pittsburgh and the LA Chargers. Chargers favored by 6 at home against Pittsburgh. Over under in the game set at 47.5. So somebody was saying, is Big Ben out? Why is LA -6? I think Big Ben is playing today. He was on the COVID list and is supposed to be back. But I think that -6 feels about right for this game. Pittsburgh is another one of those teams that really will go as Ben goes. He's certainly not consistently good anymore, but he can have really good games still. We've seen the Steelers beat a couple of really good teams already this year, and we've seen them lose some really bad games as well. LA has been a little similar in that sense this year. Justin Herbert is a fantastic young quarterback, but for whatever reason, the Chargers have been a little inconsistent the last few weeks. Model has this one as about a 25-20 game, with the Chargers winning. So that's a Steelers cover, but only by a point, and that's an under by about 2 points. But Ben, I'm curious what you think here.
It's a kind of a trappy game, in my opinion, because the Chargers at home, they've been weird.
Yeah, like, is it even a home game?
Right.
And the joke about Steelers fans is like you find Steelers fans everywhere except for Pittsburgh.
I think that it's going to be 75% Steeler fans.
I kind of agree. I think it's going to feel like a home game for Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. But then it begs the question where we're like, well, if the Chargers play better on the road, and now we know that there's going to be more fans for the other team at home, does that make it a road game?
Yeah,
We said the same thing about the Raiders game.
yeah. And we know how that went.
And wait, what was the score?
What was this? That's a good question.
Oh, Chargers won by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
It was like I think that one was like 50-50. The crowd
no,
in that game.
I thought it was like 80%, Nick.
Was it?
Because it was the return. Because it was the Raiders.
Return to California?
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know. It was -3 earlier in the week. Was it?
Let's see. I'm showing. Yeah, look ahead was definitely -3. Although I think on Monday last week, we were already seeing like 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ben, do you have any leans here?
My lean would be the Chargers, but I actually don't think we should put that up
Yeah, I'm staying away from this one.
because 6 seems like a lot here.
It does. It seems like a lot. I agree. And I think that both of the teams are so inconsistent, and I don't really have any kind of stylistic idea as if Pittsburgh is going to play well against LA, or is LA going to play well against Pittsburgh, or the other way around. Is one of them going to be bad? I don't get that vibe. I think that it's just going to come down to the quarterback play. Is Ben Roethlisberger going to be better for having had a week off? Is Justin Herbert gonna play well this week? And yeah, I don't know. I put the score in as a lean. That's stupid. I do think that I lean Pittsburgh, barely, but not gonna bet.
Yeah, I can make an argument for that too. So it's going to be, they should have switched the last 2 games here and put the prime time as the Cowboys and Chiefs. What are we doing?
I mean, but the Chiefs be on primetime every week,
So
so that's boring.
guess we can see Justin Herbert do his thing. So
All right,
all
yep.
right, Nick. Games have kicked off. The viewers are leaving. I think it's time.
I think it's time as well. Thank you all for being here, as always. Appreciate it very much. I'll be back tomorrow on Monday for picks and props for the Giants and Buccaneers. Good luck on the bets, as always, and we will see you guys next time.
All right, see ya.